In a small town where houses stood in neat rows like toy soldiers and the windows glowed with golden light at night, there lived a boy named Noah. He was a dreamer who loved to imagine grand sea adventures. Often, he would sit by the window and picture himself as the captain of a mighty ship, sailing through waves, hearing the cries of seagulls, and feeling the salty breeze on his face. But in reality, Noah had never seen the sea. His home was far from any shore, and the only things that reminded him of his dreams were a book with pictures of ships and an old globe his grandfather once gave him. One rainy evening, when the sky was covered with gray clouds and raindrops tapped gently on the windowsill, someone rang the doorbell. It was Grandpa holding a small package in his hands. His eyes twinkled with mischief. "A real captain needs more than just a globe," he said, handing Noah the box. "Here, a special gift, just for you." Inside was a simple-looking glass filled with water, but when Noah picked it up, the water shimmered and moved, even though he wasn't touching it. "Grandpa, why does it shine like that?" Noah asked in awe. "Because it's no ordinary water," Grandpa smiled. "There's a sea hidden inside. But to discover its secret, you must be brave and pay close attention." Noah stared deep into the water. He thought he saw tiny waves rolling one after another. His heart beat faster. He didn't know yet what amazing adventures were waiting, but he could feel it. This glass would change his life. The next morning, Noah rushed to place the glass on his windowsill. The sunlight danced in the water, and it truly looked like small waves splashing inside. Suddenly, a tiny sparkle of light appeared in the center. Noah leaned closer and heard a soft splash, like distant ocean waves. He gently touched the rim of the glass, and the water inside began to swirl and rise like a whirlpool. Everything around him went still. Then, something magical happened. The image of a ship appeared on the glass's surface. Not a toy ship, but a real one, with white sails billowing in the wind. Tiny sailors ran on the deck, and seagulls circled above. It felt real, like the sea had come to life in his hands. "Is this real?" Noah whispered. Then, a calm, deep voice spoke. "Captain, we've been waiting for you." Noah looked around, but no one was there. The voice came from the glass. He leaned closer, and the ship on the waves seemed to be calling him. A breeze touched his cheek, fresh and salty. It wasn't just his imagination. His heart thudded with excitement. Could he, a boy from a quiet town, really become the captain of a ship? Holding the glass tightly, he knew this was the beginning of something bigger than dreams. Sitting at the edge of his bed, Noah held the glass, staring at the ship inside. His heart pounded. "How is this possible?" he whispered. But the voice from the depths spoke again. "You are our captain. Only you can lead us on this journey." Noah closed his eyes and made a brave decision. He tilted the glass, and suddenly, everything around him changed. His room vanished. He stood on a real ship's deck, sails above, wind in his hair, an endless sea stretching around him. The ocean shimmered with shades of green and blue, and seagulls cried overhead. "Welcome aboard, Captain," called out a tiny sailor in a striped shirt. He looked like a toy, yet he was alive. There were more sailors, all busy on the deck, trusting him completely. "But I'm just a boy," Noah said. "The sea doesn't care," the sailor replied. "It chose you." A wave lifted the ship, and Noah felt a thrill, not fear, but freedom. "If this is a dream, I want it to last forever," he whispered, gripping the railing. In the distance, a dark shadow rose on the horizon. Their first mystery was waiting. The ship sailed forward, cutting through waves. Though it was his first time steering, Noah felt like he was born to hold the wheel. "Land ahead," shouted a sailor. Noah squinted. An island covered in glowing green jungle rose from the water. Golden sunlight lit the treetops, and strange sounds floated from deep within. As they anchored and stepped onto the soft, warm sand, the crew followed their captain into the jungle. The plants shimmered like they were painted with starlight. Bright pink and purple flowers glowed, and butterflies with glass-like wings fluttered by. In the center of the island stood a stone pedestal. On it sat a glowing golden key. "What is it for?" Noah whispered. Suddenly the key spoke. "I open the gate to a greater sea." But only for one who knows what it means to be a true captain, Noah hesitated. "I'm just a boy who ended up here by chance." "A true captain isn't fearless," the key replied. "He leads others even when he's afraid." Remembering the trusting eyes of his crew, Noah took a deep breath and reached out. The key shone brightly, and a glowing arch appeared in the sky. "Get ready, crew," said Noah. "Our real adventure is just beginning." The ship sailed again, this time straight through the glowing arch. As its bow touched the light, everything lit up with blinding brightness. Wind howled, waves roared, and then silence. Noah opened his eyes to a magical sea unlike anything he'd seen. Rainbow-colored water shimmered, and winged whales glowed in the sky like stars. "This is a dream," gasped a sailor. "No, this is a new world," said Noah. They sailed through wonders. Flying fish left trails of gold in the air, and the sky was so deep and blue it seemed to sing. But beneath the beauty, something moved. A dark shape followed them under the sea. "Captain," whispered the old boatswain, "we're being watched." Noah gripped the wheel tightly. Then a massive shadow rose. Two glowing green eyes stared at them. The sea itself spoke. "Only one with a pure heart may pass." Fear filled the crew, but Noah stepped forward. "I only want to protect my crew and prove a boy can be a captain." Silence. Then the sea guardian smiled. "Then prove it." The ocean bubbled. The final test had begun. A giant wave rose like a wall, tossing the ship. Thunder roared, and a dark whirlpool opened ahead. "Captain, what do we do?" shouted the sailors. "We'll lose the ship." But Noah didn't back down. His hands trembled, but his eyes were full of courage. "Hold on. We'll face this together." The sea guardian's voice echoed. "To pass, you must give up what you treasure most." In the cabin, a drop of the magical sea still remained in the glass. If he used it now, the magic would vanish. He might never return. Noah took a deep breath. "Better to lose magic than lose my friends." He grabbed the glass and poured the water into the whirlpool. Everything froze. Then the storm stopped. The whirlpool disappeared, and calm returned. The sea guardian bowed his head. "Your heart is pure. Go on, Captain. You now truly rule the sea." Cheers rose. Noah had passed the test, but one last mystery remained. After the storm, the sea turned still and bright. A shining island appeared on the horizon. As they reached the shore, an old man in a white cloak stood waiting. It was the sea guardian. "You've passed every test, Captain. But do you now understand what the sea in the glass truly is?" Noah thought. The magic water was gone, but his heart felt full. "It's not just water," he said. "It's our dreams, small on the outside but full of endless worlds." The old man smiled. "Every child who believes has their own sea in a glass. Even if the water fades, the dream stays forever." Suddenly, the beach vanished. Noah was back in his room. The glass stood on his desk, plain and still, but he knew the sea hadn't disappeared. It lived inside him now. That night, Noah told his friends the story. They listened with wide eyes, and some looked at their own glass of water and wondered, maybe there's a sea in mine too. And even though the ship, crew, and islands were now only memories, Noah smiled, because the greatest truth of all was this: dreams are real, if you believe in them. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed the story, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.